Hi everyone, it's Simon Massey here from the Manchester Met Q-Step Centre, and in this video we're going to talk about averages versus percentages. Now the reason I've titled this averages versus percentages is because sometimes we have to put these two different types of univariate analysis together to decide which of the two is better to tell the story that we want to tell. So that's the way that we're going to actually look at this issue, because sometimes you might find that an average number helps you put a particular point across, whether sometimes if you want to compare certain things, you might use percentages. The first thing to remember here is that averages comes from numerical data. So anytime you're looking at an average, that has usually come from some sort of scale, but it's certainly come from numerical data. So that's where your data has not been put into any sort of categories. Then percentages are the others. Percentages come from categorical data. So when you are comparing groups, for example, different institutions, different organizations, anything that might be relevant to your field, different groups of people, you can put them into categories and you then compare their percentages of whatever it is that you're looking at. Numerical data, averages, that's where you might work with actual scales. So things like temperature, length, time taken, weight, things that have numerical data in them. Now, what we're going to do is show you a hypothetical study of 30 people. What we found from those 30 people was that the average number of times somebody breaks wind in front of their partner per month is 26 times. So have a little think about that for a second, whether or not you think that's high, whether you think it's low. But that's the average that we found based on the study that we did. So now that we can see this, what you are looking at is 30 individual cases. So we've asked 30 different people and they've provided us a raw number as to how many times per month usually they break wind in front of their partner. So this is just people with partners. We have 30 individual cases. There are no categories at this point, which means this is scale data. That is why we have managed to calculate an average. Okay. So what you are looking at right now is an average, and you're looking at what we call numerical data. So let's think about how we can categorize this. What I've done here is I've categorized it to 20 or under times per month that someone breaks wind in front of the partner, or over 20. So what we've done is we've split it into two different categories. So we are working with a nominal variable here. Two categories, one for 20 or under, one for over 20. And as you can see, there are three people who were a bit shy and didn't want to answer the question, so they will be excluded from the analysis. So now what we need to do, now that we have our two categories, we want to generate some percentages out of this to take into account how many people are in the study. And as we can see, it's 30 people. We can see now that there are 12 people in the actual 20 or under category, and we have 15 in the over 20 category. Obviously 3 are excluded from the analysis. So now what we're going to do with that is we are going to add them together to see that we actually have a sample size of 30, and now we can generate our percentages. So as you can see, the 3 people have been excluded from the analysis, and that highlights the difference between percent and valid percent. So if we were including the total study, we'd see that it's 50% of people who have admitted to breaking wind over 20 times a month in front of their partner. But if you look at the valid percent, it's slightly higher. So now what we can say is 55.5% of those who answered admitted to breaking wind in front of their partner over 20 times per month. And then as you can see, we have another category for 20 or under, and that's 44.4%. So the actual choice is yours. Which of these do you think is a better headline or tells a better story? The fact that people on average break wind 26 times a month in front of their partner, or the fact that over half of us break wind over 20 times per month? The choice is yours, and remember, the best decision to make here is what makes the best story.